For a long time, it felt like I wasn't on the same page as Ace Attorney. It felt kinda like a friend who you're really not on the same wavelength as, despite hanging out with them a lot. And hey, that honestly describes most of my friendships, so I'm not saying it's a big problem or anything. I've touched on this in different ways in previous Ace Attorney videos. Sometimes I crave more direct continuity in narrative and themes and character arcs between games. Sometimes I wish Ace Attorney wouldn't run away from some of the more compelling, yet more complex ideas it has the potential to discuss. Sometimes I just wish it didn't feel so dependent on its own formulas. These sound like criticisms, but really they're just preferences. Plenty of people love these attributes of the series. I bring these preferences up because, remarkably, right at the end of the series, Phoenix and Friends extended an olive branch to me and gave me an Ace Attorney game that, at least begun, to exhibit some qualities I had wanted the series to demonstrate. With Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, Spirit of Justice. The overall narrative theme of the game regarding cultural revolution centering around a broken legal system is much more potent in this game, as a lot of the game takes place within a fictional culture. Admittedly, it's treated with the series' classic levity, but the stakes for Phoenix Wright are established really early, and they are arguably the greatest he has ever faced. Always being an idealist, and now an idealist with full confidence in himself, it's really rewarding to see Phoenix not flinch in the face of the most danger any attorney in the series has faced. And as with the previous game, Apollo and Athena are here to contribute their perspective as well. Well, gotta fully admit, Athena is here less than she was in the last game, but I'm okay with it. It does feel like the character was introduced to the series earlier than she naturally should have been, and her time on screen is still plenty rewarding for any fan of Dual Destinies. But it makes sense for her to step to the side on this one, because we gotta wrap up the story of Apollo Justice. If Dual Destinies felt weird for yanking the reins away from Apollo and giving them back to Phoenix, then Spirit of Justice feels weird for quietly giving Apollo back the reins without telling the audience and keeping Phoenix's name on the title. Phoenix and Athena have some personal relationships that get to be expanded on in some touching ways, but the character exploration I had always wanted Ace Attorney to pursue happens within the one character that they always seem willing to take the extra mile, Apollo. The character who has always had the most on his mind. His internal journey towards his own source of resolve is even more compelling than the pieces of lore we get to learn about him. I said before that I had spent this series waiting for it to match the final chapter that Justice for All gave me, and I am so happy that Apollo was able to have a turnabout that did just that for me. Coincidentally offering a lot of the same things that Justice for All did. Maybe I just have a type. Spirit of Justice is the biggest game in the mainline series. It's bold and rich, it gives a true sense of finality, and it even got me on board with spirit channeling as a story element. I never liked spirit channeling. I don't know how they pulled it off, but they did it well. Its use in this game is novel and interesting. I have to believe this isn't the last time I'm gonna see these characters. I have this striking internal sense that Ace Attorney as a series has more to say. But for now, I take immense joy in the fact that the series' final chapter could very likely be my favorite they ever told.